All right, guys, I am back with another video, and can I just say Happy New Year? Welcome to 2020. And I decided to start this year off with a review. I have not done a review in a long time, and guys, I have had these Ohuhu Watercolor Brush Pens for months and still have not shared them with you. I am not sure if I have shared in other videos how much I hate watercolor. It's not really my favorite medium to use. I did win these in the Ohuhu Art competition, summer art competition that they had this past summer. And I have played with them a little bit, but have just been very reluctant to actually using them. You'll see here that I'm doing like a few swatches and trying to get the hang of like how they actually work. I have watched other videos with people using them. I believe Arteza has some that are very similar, and to be honest, I have to give all of those people a round of applause because they make it look so easy. But to be honest, I don't really like these as much, guys, because of how the application is. Right here, this pen, you actually can fill it with water, and it sort of spreads the watercolor. Y'all, I'm just not that big of a fan, to be honest. I just feel like it's so much work to have to like use the pen, then have to use the water pen. Like, I'm just not that. I was as I was doing this, I just was like, oh God, like I just don't know if I really want to have to put in this much work, because you might as well just use a paintbrush instead of using the water pen. But nonetheless, I decided to trifle along and just keep it pushing, you know, because I was like, I'm actually going to really go all the way through with this, because as soon as I started like playing with them, y'all, I really wanted to just say, nah, I'm straight. No, but I decided to keep it going. So I tried to, you know, sort of blend with these, and I still just was not liking how it was coming out still. And it could maybe be the paper that I'm using. I'm using, I think this is Georgia Pacific, index paper that I'm using here, but it's a heavy cardstock paper, and so maybe that's it. But like I still just I don't know, like the watercolor was not actually moving how I really wanted it to move. It wasn't really moving soft, and maybe it could be, you know, me, you know, being an amateur, just really not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Maybe that's what it was, but I still was just like, no. And having to keep pushing this water pen, it was really getting on my nerves. I really was maybe like 2 minutes from just going and just getting a regular paintbrush. Yeah, guys, I just was not, I don't know, I'm just not really that big a fan. Here, I'm letting you guys see the packaging, and it does come with a 10% coupon and a FAQ list on the back, which I think those come in almost all of their packaging that they send off. But I will say that the brush on these is very nice. And right here, guys, listen, I was about to do like a swatch of all of the colors, because I want to say this is like a 48 pack, y'all. There are a lot of these brush pens, and there were a lot of different colors. Of course, there were a lot of blues and greens, but I literally was just so not into these pens that I didn't even actually sit and do a swatch of each one of these, because it was so many. And I just, y'all, like I really was not feeling these pens. I hate for this to just turn out to be like a really bad review, but like I just wasn't really feeling these. So I did not sit and do a swatch of all of them. What I will say is that because these are like more of these are the oranges and the yellows. These are like the browns. There are not that many skin tones. These are the purples. I think these are the blues. There were only like 4 pinks out of the whole entire thing of 48. And then here's the gray and black and the greens, 3 reds, y'all. And then you have 2 of the water pens. Because there are no skin tone colors like that, I really had to think of like what color I could use that could probably be close, because with watercolor you can dilute it a little bit. I still felt like I could use one of the browns and it could possibly work. To be honest with you guys, I loved my little sketch of my girl more than I loved the medium that I was using, but she was so cute. And I believe that this is probably the first time that I've used like a close-up profile in one of my videos. So I actually was proud of myself with that too, because I feel like she turned out so cute and I loved her short hair. But I also decided that I would add line art to this. I am, again, an amateur when it comes to watercolor, guys. So I don't know if people actually use line art with watercolor. Like, I'm not quite sure. And I really couldn't remember at the time if, like, on the top of my head from the other videos that I watched, if they used it. All right, so now that we've got all of the line art done, and to be honest, I just cannot steer away from line art, y'all. Like, I really can't. So let me know in the comments if you guys felt like it would have looked better without the line art or with the line art. But I did choose one of the browns, as I said, and this one is it sort of had a lot of orange tones to it, but I tried to sort of dilute it as much as I could to make it where it wouldn't be just so saturated, I guess. And I will not even lie to you guys, as I started doing her skin and everything, I felt like I was getting more into the groove of these pens and was sort of more beginning to like them. And like, when I tell y'all I am cringing as I'm saying that, because I cannot even believe that I'm saying that, because out of all of the paint mediums, out of acrylic, oil paints, all of them, I love acrylic. Acrylic is my favorite. So I do have palettes and paintbrushes and things because I use acrylics a lot. But watercolor is like my arch enemy when it comes to paint mediums. I literally have such a hate for them. But I will not lie to you guys that actually, as I was using them on my drawing, really getting into it, and y'all, I had to stop because I was trying to like see if I could like sort of spread this. So I went to go and get a palette. But as I was using, which guys, that helped me so much. I don't know why I didn't go and get a little palette in the first place, but Anyway, as I just was working on her skin and everything, I was getting a little more comfortable with the pens and working with them. And I think that I'm going to challenge myself to use these more, because I was sort of starting to like it a little bit. And I guess it was because I was sort of, getting used to how they work and learning how to use them. What I will say is I will use a regular paintbrush next time instead of using that water pen, because that water pen was getting on my nerves. Like, you have to press on it sort of hard for the water to come out, and it just, listen, girl, just give me a regular paintbrush. Like, I don't have the time. But I really liked how I was able to sort of put like a little bit of the color down and spread it around and, darken it where I needed it to, and different things, because in my head, it's like I sort of, when I see other people use watercolor, like, they are just the bomb. Like, the way that they can add the shading and the different, techniques that they use and everything, like, oh my God, all I can do is apply them. But as I was doing it myself here, I was just getting so proud of myself for even being able to know and sort of feel out how to sort of use the color where I needed to. So kudos to me. But I really loved how her skin came out in this, even though I felt like, there were not that many skin tones. But listen, guys, if you know how to work watercolor, there are so many colors in here. Out of these like 40, there are like a lot of colors. So maybe you know how to like mix them and get your own colors, because I'm sure that you can do that. I'm a beginner, and I have no problem saying that. So as I learn to use these, maybe I will be able to give more of a better review. But what I can say is that as I was getting to use them a little more and getting a bit more comfortable with them, they really were not that bad. I would probably tell a person to use a paintbrush instead of the water pen. But that's to each their own, because you may get them and you probably may love the water pen, because again, I'm a beginner. I do love how saturated the colors are. They all were very saturated, very vibrant and bright. I will say that about all of the colors, because after I did this, I did go and sort of swatch all of them, and I did love how bright they came out. So it was a yes for that. And I know that I am going to challenge myself to really push to do a more intricate drawing with them, and just really push myself with the shading and everything that you can, just the possibilities of what you can do with them, because I did love a lot of the colors that were in there. And if you love watercolor, I feel like y'all probably would die for these, and they're inexpensive as well. Like, I want to say that these can't be more than like $25. And it could be cheaper than that, guys. Like, I don't want to lie, but I know that they're inexpensive. I know that. They're by Ohuhu, and Ohuhu always has the inexpensive pricing for quality art supplies. So that part. So here I am going into her hair. So I was thinking like, okay, I'm using watercolor. Like, I would love to do like a cute ombre with her hair and so I was thinking of trying to use a different color than lavender or a purple. So I went with a blue. And to be honest, I really was just sort of playing with the colors here. I loved how her bang came out. That is the part that really looked more like an ombre. Not really the other parts of it. More looked a little like streaky-ish, but in the end, it did come out nice. I was able to just play with where I was laying the paint down, being able to spread it to different parts. And I don't know, y'all, like, this is like an exercise, trying to really feel out how to use these pens. And I know that there probably were so many errors, but I I am definitely still learning with the watercolor. It is just not, it's still probably still not one of my favorites, but I can say that probably the brush pens make it a little bit easier to play with them and to, you know, sort of fill them out. I gave her blue eyebrows, and I just felt like they were like popping. Like, I was like, all right, sis, like, you know, I just was starting to feel her a little more. Like, even like you can see her blush where I've, you know, gone up like closer there. You can see her blush and really get into her face. And as I was just getting closer to the end, I was like, oh my goodness, like this, my painting doesn't look that bad, you know. But I was having sort of like a little bit of issue of trying to get a little more of her skin tone up, like between where her bang is and where it's, you know, separated in different stuff. But I'm sure if I added maybe just a little bit, I was so scared to like add too much and then make it too dark, you know, because I'm like, listen, I got a good thing going right now. Like, you know, I've added my little shadow up under the neck. Like, I do not want to ruin my painting before the end of this video. I decided on a yellow for her top because I sort of wanted it to be bright. I almost went into my old ways and went with like a pink or a purple, and I am trying to go with some new colors in 2020. Okay, like let's do some orange hair. Okay, let's do some green hair. Like, let's just steer away from any lavender or purple hair. Okay, I am not gonna say that it's not gonna happen, but let's try some new things in 2020. But I gave her a safe pink lip, you know, just something that I felt like could go, because I didn't want to have a whole bunch of random colors going all together. And then I did give her like a cute choker, and her choker, I just decided to make it the same color, which we have not got to that part yet, guys, because now I'm adding the shadows around her bang. But I did make her her choker the same color as her shirt. I just wanted to make sure I just kept her simple and cute, and not do too much. But yes, I'm gonna say I'm adding shadow here, and even when I added the shadow, like I felt like I was like really doing it, y'all. Like I just knew what I was doing. I know anybody's gonna be lonely without a reason. We got someone to care for. Maybe all you need is a shoulder to cry on. If that's a fact, then I'll be more of a dreamer. I decided to add a little bit of an ombre background. You know, I mean, why not add a little bit behind her? Like, I was feeling a little spicy. I was, you know, proud of myself with how my girl came out, because, and she also needed to dry. I think that's something I have to learn too, is sort of letting stuff dry and then going back, because, listen, by the end of this was very wet. Okay, but I actually loved how it came out for my first try, y'all. I feel like this turned out pretty nice, and I don't know, y'all, I just wanted to just spice up that background with a little color, you know, because I just felt like I was doing my thing. I was in my little element, and I really just, I don't know, like I think my favorite part was her face. Like, I loved how my skin came out. It really came out nice. But guys, this was my first time with watercolor, probably since high school. So listen, that's been years. Let's say 10 plus. We'll leave it at that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In 2020, I am definitely wanting to do more, talk about maybe some topics of different things. I don't know, but I definitely am so excited. And I want to say hello to all of my new subscribers. Welcome to our little YouTube family, and I will see you guys in the next video.